When he was still employed at Disney, Burton directed a made-for-TV version of Hansel and Gretel. This short film was one of a series of fairy tales produced for the newly launched Disney Channel and was only screened once late at night on Halloween. Fairy tales have a particular appeal for Burton, particularly ones like Hansel and Gretel that deal with such dark themes. A video clip will now play. Please look at your screen.
I'm always amazed at how certain images freak out adults when in fact it was something that was very much a part of probably their childhood and every other. And that's what fairy tales I always felt did for me, is that they're quite frightening, abstract stories, and children relate to them because it represents the abstract of life and how how am I going to deal with something I don't really understand, and all these weird, horrible images that are, I think, crucial to childhood, and yet I think people kind of forget. Some people forget as they get older.
Directing Hansel and Gretel gave Burton his first experience of working with actors, and the film is distinctively Japanese-themed, responding to Burton's fascination with Japanese monster movies and their particular sense of design. Although remaining quite faithful to the narrative of the original fairy tale, Burton embellished his version of Hansel and Gretel with a number of distinctly Burton-esque touches, including stop-motion sequences, a host of Transformer toys, and a kung fu fight sequence at the end. Made for only $116,000 and soon forgotten, the film was thought to be lost, but the curators at the Museum of Modern Art discovered a copy while preparing for this exhibition. The entire 35-minute film is presented here, accompanied by a range of connected artworks, including storyboards and concept drawings. An audio clip will now play. You are listening to Ron Meliosi, who co-curated this exhibition for the Museum of Modern Art in New York.
Tim Burton's little-known version of Hansel and Gretel was commissioned by the Walt Disney Company and broadcast on their recently launched cable TV channel late Halloween evening in October 1983. It was presented as part of a studio showcase series, spotlighting the work of young talent. Hosted by Burton's childhood idol and creative muse, actor Vincent Price, the program also featured the animated short they had made together a year earlier, Vincent. Like Vincent, Hansel and Gretel, Burton's second professional film, was a distinctly hands-on, handcrafted production, involving three of Tim's important early collaborators: Rick Heinrich, who designed the production and sculpted models; Stephen Chiodo, who created visual effects, including the edible sets and exploding paintballs; and animation artist Joe Ranft, who served as a puppeteer. Tim himself created over 500 pieces of concept and storyboard art, some of which you will find on display here. He designed toys and props and got down on his hands and knees to draw parts of the set's floor. Burton was inspired by his passion for Transformer toys and Japanese sci-fi monster films. Note how the witch roars like the famed Godzilla monster as she attacks the children at the end of the film. His Hansel and Gretel is an all-Asian cast, part drag, part stop-motion adaptation of the familiar fairy tale. Seen today, this unorthodox take on the classic exhibits surprising visual references to action painting and performance art, a number of familiar Burton motifs, for instance his delight in the carnivalesque nature of the grotesque and body modification, and ironic narrative coincidences. Note that both Hansel and Gretel and Sweeney Todd end with a main character being pushed into a furnace. Shot in 16mm and edited on video, Hansel and Gretel was first screened for cast, crew, and Disney brass on Friday, May 20th, 1983. Unfortunately, its bizarre production values and provocative treatment of troubling childhood themes so concerned studio executives at the time that after a single late-night broadcast in the United States, it disappeared from public view until its recovery and restoration in 2009 for this exhibition. Here, after over 25 years, we present the complete 34-minute film, and as a bonus, the original 1-minute broadcast closing with Vincent Price, that Tim also directed.